Now it's my pleasure to present the 2012 Executive Officer Award to Christian Malesic.
Prior to Christian's arrival, the HBA of Berks County had a budget deficit of over $100,000. Christian came on board, and through frugal cutbacks and eliminating unneeded expenses, he was able to cut the deficit by more than half. Today, the HBA has over $76,000 in an investment account. In 2012, Christian turned failing events around with increased attendance and an energized membership. With these successes, the groundwork was laid to increase sponsorship revenue from $1,500 to over $14,000. Upon his arrival, Christian discovered HBA records, including the financials, had not been kept for years, so he set out to correct and organize them. The HBA now has comprehensive policies in place to maintain accurate and transparent financial records. Christian is also a political advocate for the organization and industry. He designed, organized, negotiated, scripted, and moderated the largest political debate ever held in Berks County. Over 150 people attended each debate, which were recorded and published to the HBA's YouTube channel. Christian is a regular attendee and speaker at the Berks County Patriots, one of the largest Tea Party movements in the country, with between 300 to 2,500 attendees at its monthly meetings. The HBA had an incredibly successful political fundraising cycle, surpassing all PAC goals and helping 13 out of 14 candidates it supported win their elections. The HBA has surpassed its 2-year goal of contributing over $12,000 to the States Association PAC by contributing $21,803. Christian is a CGR and CAPS designation holder. In addition, he is an NAHB approved instructor for 7 courses in the NAHB designation family. Christian utilized his skill set to help the association win 3 NAHB National Association Excellence Awards in 2012, Best Publication, Best Community Service Project, and Best Social Media Effort. The HBA of Berks County Board of Directors said, "Christian has exceeded our expectations and inspires others to excel. He is dependable, diligent, enthusiastic, honest, and extremely well organized." Congratulations, Christian Malesic, on winning the new Executive Officer of the Year award.
Oh, it's a tremendous honor. The competition was very tough. To be recognized as the top new executive officer in association management, especially knowing that all of the officers from my association and the entire board supported and recommended me for the award, it's very humbling.
Far too often, we meet individuals who walk the walk and some who talk the talk. Very rarely do you find the real deal, the diamond in the rough, the man who walks the walk and talks the talk, and always does it with a smile on his face. Christian is well deserving of your new Executive Officer of the Year award, as he is a motivated and an exceptionally talented executive.
He formed a cohesive core group of members by listening and putting to use different attributes and skills of current members, and recruiting new voices to add and strengthen our chapter of HBA. Through his leadership, education and training have taken a priority with our members. We have experienced a measurable increase in our associations throughout the country, and our members actively communicate with each other through social media. His attention to detail, comprehensive and accurate assessments of his environment and peers have allowed him to push not only himself, but this chapter of HBA to a stronger and visible presence within our community. Christian's ranges of adaptability have been key to translating business agendas into action. His leadership style inspires confidence and at the same time encourages members to contribute.
I have been employed by the Home Builders Association of Berks County for the past 9 years, right out of college. During that time, I have seen the association go from approximately 800 members down to 320 members. Something drastic needed to happen in order to help turn the association around. Christian's predecessor, my former executive director, submitted his retirement notice in 2011, and the HBA's board of directors took on the challenge of finding his replacement. That individual needed to be someone to turn the association around, and through their search, they found Christian. In my opinion, there is no better candidate for this year's new Executive Officer of the Year award than Christian.
It's a great team. The board has tons of expertise and is very diverse. There's an architect, a couple of engineers, obviously home builders and remodelers, a mortgage lender. I'm just going around the board table in my head here. A bank branch manager, master landscapers, an attorney, glass contractor. The synergy in that room, it's just hard to describe.
Christian's friendly personality and experience with public speaking has helped draw positive attention to our industry. His experience with political issues has helped open the eyes of local legislators to the challenges facing the building industry. His experience with real estate has helped with the unique challenge of managing the HBA's recently acquired multi-building office complex with its own set of pre-existing issues. His ability to find unconventional solutions to challenges, such as turning a burdensome, costly, and stale newsletter into a countrywide, award-winning, and profitable magazine, has expanded our visibility and turned an expense into a source of...
We have a strict budget, a well-rounded board, proper keeping of minutes, and lots of guidance, all due to our new EO, Christian Malesic, who is not afraid to dive in and give it his all to get the job done, as if he had been with our HBA for years. This was just one facet of the many changes and adjustments this man has done.
Christian is well respected within the HBA family and is seen as someone who is honest, hardworking, dedicated, and intelligent. I've been involved with the HBA in some capacity or another for over 20 years, and I don't recall anyone who hit the ground running the way that Christian did in Berks. He has earned the respect of his fellow local EOs in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania HBAs share information and ideas frequently, and Christian is one of our most creative and active colleagues. I can count on him to give honest advice in a timely manner, and I've come to rely on his insights and opinions. He's always ready to share his experiences and ideas with others, but he is also confident enough to ask for help when he encounters a new situation.
On top of everything else, the board needed a financial wizard, plain and simple. They knew that the association was in dire straits. They just didn't know how bad it was or how to fix it. In fact, the board had passed a $116,000 deficit budget in January of 2012 with only $100,000 in the bank. It wasn't too hard to figure out that if they had followed that path, the association would be bankrupt by October of that same year.
The biggest problem our board and membership faced was the fact that we did not have good information at our fingertips to identify our true financial status and the long-term sustainability. Within a few short months, Christian had the situation understood. He presented detailed information to the executive team in order to demonstrate his command of the information and seek direction. Christian had opinions on how to move forward in this situation, but he remained steadfast in reminding the board that he is a servant to the association, and his job is to provide management at the direction of the association and its respective board of directors. I simply cannot recommend anyone more highly for this award. Christian fearlessly stepped into the executive officer position. In his first year, he has completed numerous tasks to move the organization forward in thoughtful, sustainable ways. He is overqualified for the position, and quite frankly, we are lucky to have him as part of our team.
Due to Christian's dedication and forward thinking, his largest contribution has been his commitment to keeping our HBA alive. Simply said, without him as our executive officer, our local HBA would have closed its doors last September.
His knowledge doesn't end with finances. He is also very good with politics, which we need to have in cases like this year. What I mean by that is, as president, my strong point is not in the political field, so it is good to have an EO that is able to help guide me in the right direction. He has also been extremely helpful in assisting me and the task force we have in updating of bylaws and policies, which were well overdue. One thing is obvious through all of this, and that is he likes his job and has nothing but the greater good in mind for the HBA of Berks County.
Christian has developed reciprocal relationships with Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Reading Berks Association of Realtors, Habitat for Humanity of Berks County, plus the 3 local VOTEC high schools and our sister HBA organizations in Pennsylvania. He was very involved with our charity, the HBA Restoring Hope Foundation, and with the Foundation's 2012 build.
It is with sincere conviction that we enthusiastically recommend Christian D. Malesic as the best new executive officer of the National Association of Home Builders Federation of 738 local associations.
Now it's my pleasure to present the 2012 Executive Officer Award to Kristen Malesic.
This award is the Olympic gold medal. It's the Oscar of the association industry. You know, I've always wondered why famous actors get nervous when they walk up on stage to receive an Oscar. They're in the limelight all the time. It's their job. Now I get it. Interestingly enough, the keynote speaker that had opened the national conference for some 350 attendees the day before was a body language expert. He had worked for famous CEOs and celebrities and the Vice President of the United States. His talk was awesome. But one of the things that he talked about was a scientific study on posture. It turns out that if you stand in the Wonder Woman or Superman pose, you know, with your chest puffed out and your feet apart at shoulder's width and your hands on your hips, it actually raises your body's testosterone and confidence levels while lowering your nervousness. When I was walking up on stage, I was nervous. So right then and there, it was crystal clear what I needed to do. To not be nervous, right? You know, I've been part of this federation for 17 years, and for the first 15, started and ran an electrical contracting company that was doing very well, very profitable, making a lot of money. And then came middle-aged crazy. My wife was with me here today. I sat her down and I said, you know, I need to have a talk. And she knew it was one of those talks. And let me start out by saying, I'm not interested in a mistress. And I don't know if that made her more happy or the fact that I said, or a sports car. But I'll tell you what, I'd like to get a new career. And she said, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, well, you know, I've served on boards of directors my whole career, national boards, the biggest and most important of which to me was the HBF Metropolitan Harrisburg with Wendy David. In fact, Wendy, would you come share the moment with me, please? Please. Wendy has been my good friend, my mentor, of course a senior statesman here. She's the Career Achievement Award winner. So when my wife Valerie said, well, what are you going to do next? I said, well, I need to go talk to Wendy. So I sat down with Wendy and a job opened up, and that's the story. Thank you so much.